All right, everyone, we welcome you to the Jeffrey Riley Football Stadium in New Bedford, Massachusetts for tonight's coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football. And tonight, it's the South Coast Conference opener as the Somerset Berkley Raiders take on the Greater New Bedford Bears, both sides searching for their first win of 2025. Tonight's game is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union, offering a full range of financial services with convenient locations in Somerset and Swansea, Mass. The Somerset Federal Credit Union is focused on you. Thank you for joining us. Keegan, Hamblett alongside Carter, Silvia on commentary, with Brian Moniz running the camera, and a pumped up Jeffrey Riley Stadium. Carter, it's the SEC opener. Both sides are looking for their first win. What's going through the minds of all these players and coaches on the field?
Well, as you said, Keegan, the first win's definitely on their mind today. I mean, two teams that are 0-4. The Raiders on their side, really tough schedule to start. Malden Catholic and Fairhaven, just the notables that they played. As for this Bears, New Bedford Folk Bears side, they also played Fairhaven and had a tough loss to them, so definitely going to be a great battle here tonight.
Liam Meehan, the star running back for Somerset Berkley, has 401 rushing yards on the year with 4 touchdowns, but those 3 fumbles have been a little bit costly. But that 5.7 yards a carry, over 100 yards a game, the Raiders are going to need him to step up tonight.
For sure, Keegan. I mean, especially last game, I kept expressing how many yards per carry he was getting. It was 5 to 6, and as I was correct, it was 5.7. So they're definitely going to need to lean on Liam Meehan tonight, because that running game, when it gets going, it's impossible to stop.
The offensive side for New Bedford Vogue also going to be big. I know you were watching some film on their offense. The big players are going to have to step up are Gabe Figueroa at QB, and a name that might sound familiar from last year's matchup, the running back Brian Antunes.
Yeah, Antunes last season was really impressive to watch. He kind of was that only main factor against the Raiders last year, so they're going to have to lean on him in order to win this game tonight.
A little bit of history between the two sides. There's been 8 all-time meetings. Somerset Berkley has won all 8 of them. Here at Jeffrey Riley Stadium, Somerset Berkley has taken 5 of those 8 games. There's a lot of pressure from both sides to get that first win tonight. You've got a first-year head coach on the Vogue side in Matt Silva. You got a Somerset Berkley side whose goal every year is to try to win at least a portion of the SEC title and always to make that state tournament. And it all starts with this game, the SEC opener.
Yeah, I mean, conference play is definitely important, not just for making the state tournament, but also to gain momentum and have great play going into the state tournament. So hopefully for the Raiders tonight, they can get the win and really just get their hopes high for games upcoming.
The Somerset Berkley side has had a lot of the injury bug, if you want to call it, this year, Carter. You've lost Cullen Doherty, most likely for the year. You've lost Tyrese Brown, most likely for the year. You're without star tight end and occasionally defensive player Jason Poissant tonight. Who are going to be some guys on Somerset Berkley besides Liam Meehan, which we've already talked about, that you want to see step up big tonight?
Yeah, Keegan, we were talking in the pregame before we hopped on live here. Gavin Gooch was definitely one of the notable names that I saw in that loss to Durfee last week. When he came in, he had 3 straight tackles on 3 straight plays. It was definitely impressive to watch. So definitely they should lean on him, not just on the defensive side of the ball, but they also give him some carries occasionally in the game.
Special teams also going to be big for Somerset Berkley tonight. You had Cullen Doherty starting out the season as a kicker. 4 for 4 on his extra point attempts, did phenomenal on his kickoffs. And then after his injury, it's kind of swapped over to the sophomore Gavin Kamara. He's 1 for 2 on his extra points. The one that he missed was technically blocked and no good. The kickoffs, he's doing a pretty decent job out there filling in. But as an underclassman, you got to love what you're seeing out there from Kamara.
For sure, Keegan. I mean, not just that he's also a SB hockey player too, but I've definitely, as an underclassman, he's done his job and position well, and it's definitely been impressive to watch, as I did not expect him to be as good of a kicker as he is.
Both teams' captains coming out for the tossing of the coin for Somerset Berkley. Kyle Hamblett, Liam Meehan, Drew Dion, and Gavin Sylvester out there. For the New Bedford Vogue side, you got Jace James, Holden Cabral, Gabe Figueroa, as well as Robert Forts out there. Carter, when you're a captain of a team, and you know it too from playing hockey season, the voice that those captains provide to the other 40 or so players on your team, that could provide a huge mental boost for you in a game like this.
Oh, for sure. That's the role of the captain, to hype up your team, make sure your team's ready, and also just to pick your team's brains, see what they're thinking. You want them to be at the top of their game, so being a captain is a huge importance to a team, because if you have great captains, you're most likely going to win more games.
Well, that's going to do it for our pregame show. Well, let's see where the coin toss is going to favor real quick, and then we'll take a short break. And it looks like New Bedford Voc has won the toss. And Somerset Berkley has received the ball in the second half in every game this year, and they are going to receive it for the first half for the first time this year. This Raider offense, Carter, has to step up big early and get on the board early.
For sure, Keegan. I was talking with your brother, Kyle Hamblett, in the pregame, and he said he wants to get that ball first. He wants that offense firing on the first drive of the game. So let's see what the Raiders can do here on this first drive.
SEC opener, Somerset Berkley Raiders taking on the Greater New Bedford Bears. Carter, Bryan, and I are going to take a short break. We're going to go on mute on the live stream feed. If you're watching on our tape delay feeds, we will be back in a few minutes after the playing of our national anthem. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back here at the Jeffrey Riley Football Stadium. Before we get to kickoff, Carter, let's meet our head coaches real quick. We're going to start with the Voc side and Matt Silva, because you have some family connections a little bit to Coach Silva.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. I mean, he was class of 1997 from Somerset High School, so definitely a welcome back moment for him, and also was a member of the football team and basketball team for Somerset at his time there.
He's the former offensive coordinator at Diamond High School. He actually founded the football program there in 2005. Spent 1 year stints at Durfee, Tri-County, and Medway as the OC. He was the OC here for Voc last year. And some fun facts, you also mentioned that Somerset native class of 97. He's also the vice principal here at Greater New Bedford. Nick Freitas for Somerset Berkley in his 17th season. All-time wins leader here for the Raider football program. He made the state finals in 2010, made a Final Four appearance in 2014. Still looking for his first win since the Malden Catholic playoff game November 8th of last year.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. Coach Freitas has been dying to get that first win of the season, and he's going to have his boys hyped up for this one, as it's the first game of the SEC matchups this season.
As we mentioned in the pregame, Somerset Berkley will receive the ball first. Jeremiah Como out there for the kickoff for Greater New Bedford. This game's underway. Kickoff will be handled at about the 12-yard line by Finn Crook. He reverses it back. And it looks like Sam Mello going out to about the 23-yard line, and we get a flag thrown in right away. Let's see what this is on. This one came from right around the 50-yard line. And we got a personal foul face mask against Greater New Bedford. That'll bump the ball up 15 yards, so it should be 1st and 10 Somerset Berkley at their own 38-yard line. And that is a great start, Carter.
Yeah, you got to like the trickery there by Coach Freitas. I mean, that little handoff to Sam Mello from Austin Parker, definitely very similar to what the Titans used to do on their special teams back in the early 2000s.
First and 10, Somerset Berkley. It's going to be officially marked at their own 39-yard line. Meehan and Crook lined up as the running backs. It looks like Brody Cabral out there at fullback. Finn Crook will get the motion. Instead, it's going to go to Liam Meehan, who's past the 40-yard line, spinning his way for a gain of about 4 yards on the play. Let's talk about Mason Benjamin real quick. This is a guy who's thrown 4 picks, had 5 fumbles and 27 pass attempts. They're going to be looking for him to step up big tonight.
For sure, Keegan. I mean, he's still a young quarterback. He's got a lot of time to progress throughout this season, and I think as the games progress, he'll start to get more comfortable in the pocket when throwing, and he'll be a lot better than he has been to start this season.
Second down and 5. Crook again gets the motion right in the middle. Finn Crook taking it on that left side. We'll have a Raiders first down past midfield to the Bears 48. A nice pickup of 8 yards on that play by the senior Finn Crook.
Yeah, you got to love the lead blocking there by Jaden Medeiros and Liam Meehan. Nice little swing there by Jay Medeiros. He was right upfield, almost 10 yards past Finn Crook, and that's another Raiders first down.
Nice start for the Somerset Berkley offense. And again, this is the first time this year where they've had the ball first. Cabral in there again at fullback. It's Drew Dion who's actually playing up on that line today. Double handoff here. That's Liam Meehan going up the middle. Meehan past the 40-yard line, still on his feet. Meehan taken down at the 25-yard line by Evan Montero, the sophomore. A gain of 23 on the play.
Seems like the same game plan as last time, Keegan. Give that ball to Liam Meehan and let him cook. Great play there, running to the outside, breaking a couple tackles for another Raiders first down.
And you could hear that first down chant right in front. A lot of Raider Nation making the trip today. And if you didn't make the trip, we thank you for tuning in on our live stream, which again is on Somerset Access TV Channel 98, Berkeley Community Access TV Channel 9. We're live on My Broadcasting YouTube channel, and we also have tape delay coverage on the Blue Raider Studios YouTube channel. This is Finn Crook with the ball this time. Finn Crook gets out to about the 21-yard line on a gain of 4 yards. Finn Crook, right around the number 3 guy in terms of carries this year, came in with 19 carries for 111 yards.
Yeah, Finn Crook obviously missed one game with a concussion, but I'm glad to see him back on the field and getting his touches that he deserves, because when he is at the top of his game, he's a great player to watch.
Yeah, when he's on, he's on. He's sort of like Liam Meehan, right around 6 yards a carry. A second down and 6 from the Vogue 21. Just over 2 minutes into this one. And we had some movement up front. And of course, everybody points in the opposite direction. Let's see who they're going to get it on. And they got it against New Bedford Vogue. Some movement right on that right side. Might have been the senior Forts with the jump. It will be short of the first down by a yard, though. Right at the 16-yard line. This time Sam Mello lines up on the right side for Somerset Berkley. It's Meehan on the motion. Benjamin going to pass this one. Benjamin going to the right side. It'll be complete. Brody Cabral will be taken down. Looks like enough for a first down. That's Brian Antunes, the man we talked about on the tackle.
Yeah, great tackle there by Antunes, especially tackling Brody Cabral, who is not an easy man to bring down, but you gotta respect Mason Benjamin there. Really stepping up in the pocket, looking through his progressions and finding the flat to Brody Cabral.
It only goes down as a 2-yard gain, but he'll take it and moves the sticks. First and 10 at the Vogue 14. Cabral back there. Again, as the fullback, it's Mello on the motion. He receives it, running to the left side. Sam Mello, gets taken down at about the 11. And that's Montero on the takedown.
Yep. Good little pitch play there to Sam Mello, and great teams always want to get at least 3 to 4 yards on first down, and the Raiders successfully did that as now they're deep into the red zone. Let's see if they can punch in a touchdown here. They go up 6-0.
Sam Mello, the transfer from Joseph Case High School right down the road in Swansea. Hasn't had a lot of touches this year, but similar to Finn Crook, when he gets the ball, he can do damage with it. Second down and 7. A pitch back. Looks like Meehan up the middle. Liam Meehan past the 5-yard line, dragging his way to the 1-yard line. A gain of 10 yards on the play. That's up Sets up a 1st and goal right at that 1 yard line. A nice power run there from Meehan.
Yeah, Liam Meehan, but that blocking there by Tavares, Sylvester, and Medeiros was really impressive. I mean, they pushed back that Bears defensive line 5-6 yards, and Liam Meehan had a gaping hole right through up the middle.
Now they have A.J. Griffin on that right side. He's been the de facto number 2 running back. It goes to Liam Meehan up the middle. He will be in for a Raiders touchdown. 4.5 minutes in, the Raiders strike first on the road.
Clinical, typical Coach Freitas drive there. Give the ball to your best player and punch it in for a touchdown.
Only goes as a 1-yard TD for Liam Meehan, but that is his 5th touchdown on the season. And let's see what they elect to do. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out there. We'll go for 2. The 2-point conversions here in high school football. The ball is marked at the 3-yard line. A cheer team making a lot of noise here for New Bedford Vogue, the annual pink out game for the New Bedford Bears side. 2-point conversion attempt with 7:33 to go. A.J. Griffin has it close to the goal line, and the signal is that he is short. We're waiting for an official signal. Looks like both referees have conferred that he will be short. So that keeps the score 6-0 Somerset Berkley with 7:33 to go in the first quarter. But that is that quick start on the offensive side that we wanted to see.
And clearly the captains of the Raiders football team were right. They wanted that ball, and they executed that drive to perfection. Now let's see what their defense can do and hold up this Bears offense that has looked pretty decent when given good opportunities.
Just to let everybody know at home, the power rankings are officially up on the MIAA's website. To check them out, head on over to MIAA.net. Go to Tournament Central and click on Power Rankings to see where your team stands today. Both of these teams are in the Division 4 column for the football side. Somerset Berkley came in at number 28. New Bedford Vogue came in at number 35. Division 4 has 37 teams. The top 16 qualify for the state tournament. You have to win at least 3 games to qualify and be in that top 16. Remember, I believe it was 2 years ago, Malden Catholic was the 9th seed, but they only won 2 games, so they didn't get in, and that's what led to a home playoff game against Westwood, in which Somerset Berkley ended up winning. But you feel for both sides, Carter, a must-win game just based off of that.
Oh, for sure. Not just that, they're both Division 4 teams, so whoever wins here is definitely going to boost up a little bit in the rankings. So, but most players shouldn't worry about rankings. You should worry about the game ahead, and as that kick goes off there, let's see what this Raiders defense can do.
The short kick was fielded by Jace James. I'm not going to give an official credit on the tackle to Austin Parker, but he came running in to kind of scare him off a little bit. So New Bedford Vogue will take over at their own 35-yard line. Again, the junior Gabe Figueroa out there. This is a New Bedford Vogue side where there are not a lot of seniors that start out there. We've seen a few seniors get in the action, but it's a very young group for Coach Silva. Let's see what they have here on a 1st and 10. Looks like Elias Robles out there at the running back spot. Trips on that left side, going to be a passing play. It goes short to Robles, and Aiden Lambert looking to wrap him up. And forward progress will only result in a loss of 3 yards.
Aiden Lambert, great wrap-up tackle right there. Made sure that he had nowhere to go. And Aiden Lambert, one of the better defensive players for this Raiders team to start the season.
Aiden Lambert ranks number 2 on the team in terms of tackles. Only trails Drew Dion, who came in with 36 today. Officially goes as a loss of 2. Half the time the referees will just mark the spot and then they go off a yard. Well, that's all right. They get a tough job out there. There's also always a backup referee that runs the scoreboard down there. 2nd down and 12 from the Bears 33. This time you got 2 out wide on the left. A one-on-one matchup on the near side. Motion comes in and it's a handoff. Running on the left side, Quincy Stroud. Stroud is past the 40 and runs out at about the 42-yard line. We'll set up a 3rd down and 3. That was a nice trickery. It looked like they were going to go to Evan Montero, but instead it's Stroud getting the ball.
It was a little fake end round into a jet sweep, and it picked up an easy 8 to 9 yards. So maybe that's a play that the Bears can keep using in order to get some good yardage.
Quincy Stroud, a junior on the Vokes side, also plays in the secondary. 3rd down and 3. You got a one-on-one matchup going on either side right now. Also short out there on the right side is Jace James. Figueroa in the shotgun. Looks like he's going to keep it on the left side. Figueroa has a 1st down and steps out after about a 4-yard gain. Finn Crook forcing him out.
Similar to what Malden Catholic did, just little QB zones picking up easy yardage, and great call there by Matt Silva just to use his quarterback to the outside for an easy 1st down.
And Raider Nation brought some noisemakers down there. They got pom-poms, they got everything down there. Ball is marked at the Vogue 46-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bears. With 6:17 to go in the 1st quarter. Again, South Coast Conference opener for both sides tonight. Should be a fantastic contest, as it usually is between the two schools. And a fumble on the play. Figueroa is going to dive on it. Brody Cabral will get the tap. And that's going to be a big loss. Looks like about 7 or 8 there.
Yeah, Keegan, looks like Figueroa really just tried to hand off that ball before he had full control of it from the snap. And those are the type of mistakes that can really cost you in big games like playing Somerset Berkley.
I don't believe it's going to go down officially as a sack. It shouldn't, because he just dove on the ball. This is a Somerset Berkley defensive side that only has 1 sack on the season, and it came from Jason Poisson in the season opener against Hanover. It's a Somerset Berkley side with 2 interceptions. We saw one last week with Sam Mello on the opening drive for Durfee. The Raiders came up short in that one, 27-13. 2nd down and 17. Figueroa lines up under center, looking to pass. Pressure coming in, goes to the right side, will be complete. Lambert can't make the tackle. A couple dekes. And it looks like Jada Medeiros flying in to make the stop at about the 49-yard line. Looks like Stroud again on the reception. Nice little play that goes for 10 yards, Carter Butt, and they're still 7 yards away from a 1st down.
Yeah, you got to respect the effort there by Quincy Stroud, really just trying to get any sort of yardage, and he made some really good jukes, beating out Aiden Lambert, who was one of the top tacklers on this Raider team. So definitely an impressive little 3 to 4 yard gain he got there.
Do you want to give a big shout out to Brian Moniz, as always traveling with us to film these games? And we always got to thank the camera crew, because we don't get on the mic unless we have a camera guy. Not that far of a trip, though, compared to Hanover and Malden Catholic earlier this season. Only one more road game after tonight, too. 3rd down and 7. Ball marked at the Bear, 49. Figueroa looking to pass, goes short on the right side. Medeiros can't make the tackle. A spin move looks like enough for a 1st down. Drew Dion on the stop. And it's going to be marked, looks like at the Raider 43. A nice catch and run there.
Good little screen pass there that Coach Silva brought up there. The first screen pass he did went for a big loss with a tackle by Aiden Lambert, but he went right back to it and picked up an easy Bears 1st down.
On the reception, it was Jacoby Ayano, the junior. 6'1", a taller guy out there for Greater New Bedford. Another Bears 1st down. 2 out wide either side. Finn Crook playing about 10 yards back. It's a fake. Figueroa on the keeper. Kyle Hamblett can't make the tackle. Figueroa still going to the side, and a hostess of Raiders getting in there on the stop. Looks like Gavin Gooch and Max Pasternak. It was Gooch who made the initial stop on her. Maybe it was Aiden Lambert. It might have been Lambert. Gooch also helping in there as well after a gain of 2.
Yeah, I mean, even though that's only a gain of 2, that's a really impressive gain, as he was running back across the field and could have been really easily a 4 to 5 yard loss. So definitely impressive effort there by Figueroa.
And Carter, we were talking a little bit pregame too that Figueroa is a guy, whether it's on the pass or on the run, he likes to go across the field.
Oh, for sure, Keegan. I mean, when I was watching film on him, he has a rocket of an arm. It's just a question whether his decision making is totally good for the game plan, but Coach Silva is definitely a great coach, and he'll figure out a way to use Figueroa the best way he can.
Timeout called on the field by Greater New Bedford with 3:03 to go in the first quarter. That is their first of the half. Let's get through some ad reads real quick while we can. Raiders fans, for a full recap on all Somerset Berkley sporting events, make sure to check out and subscribe to the Somerset Sentinel on Facebook for George Austin's articles on all Raiders sports teams. We got a lot of them, Carter, that might make some runs come playoff time next month.
Oh, for sure, Key. I mean, a lot of articles that George Austin really comes out with. Similarly to the Raiders, how he does. He comes out with the golf team that I'm part of that we just made the state tournament. So definitely impressive that we made it for 2 years in a row, along with the field hockey team who's having another great season as usual. So definitely SB Raiders Sports having another great year.
We do get a shout out our field hockey team who ended, I believe, last week, a 103-game winning streak at Watertown. Haven't lost at home since 2007. And that's Somerset Berkley field hockey side, as well as both the soccer teams looking like they can make some noise. That pass is dropped. Looked like it might have had a chance at being intercepted by Aiden Lambert. They were trying to go to Brian Antunes on the right side. He would have been short of the first down had he made the catch. But it sets up a third down and long. And I would give it to the arm of Figueroa again because he's been doing good, whether he's stepping up or making those passes off to the side.
And this Raiders secondary definitely has some weaknesses. So Figueroa, if he can really launch it and find some open receivers, they can get some big yardage and hopefully a first down.
This time it's trips on the right side. You got Chartery defending on the near side and a one-on-one. Also got some help back at the safety position. Figueroa barely gets it away, and it's intercepted. Aiden Lambert, here he is on the return. Lambert going down the left sideline, still on his feet. 30, 20, 10. It is a pick six for Aiden Lambert. What a run. 65 yards on the pick six, the third interception for the Raiders this season. And they get a two-possession lead here in New Bedford.
Wow, what a great play there by Aiden Lambert. Usually a guy known for his tackling, and he made up for his missed tackle on the last couple plays with a great pick six, breaking a couple tackles. And as I said, Figueroa's decision-making, throwing it into tight coverage, and that's just a great play there by Aiden Lambert.
That's shades of Austin DeSuto a few years ago, 3 years ago when Volk was at Somerset Berkley. He got a pick six on the left side and returned it about 40 yards. 2-point conversion attempt here. It's Liam Meehan up the middle. That's going to be close. They're going to be short again. So 0 for 2 are the Raiders on 2-point conversions. They have only converted one 2-point try this season, and that was in the hands of Cullen Doherty at the end of that Fairhaven game. But that keeps the score 12-0.
Yeah, Keegan, definitely a little uncharacteristic for the Raiders team. I mean, they're a team that usually converts 2-point conversions on the regular, so definitely something to watch throughout the season, as they definitely need to convert a little bit more than usual, because being up 12-0, they can definitely be up 14, even 16 if they get both conversions done.
So now Volk's going to get the ball back, and they had decent field position to start out their drive. It was right at their own 35-yard line. They're going to hope for a good return. Again, they had to dive on the last one, but you never know. You got speedsters out there for the Bears, so you never know who can make a run. It looks like Antunes is going to be on the near side, and Seth Olivier will be on the far side. Also backing up, you got the junior Holden Cabral. It might be the top play of the season overall, that pick six so far. Here's Camara on the kickoff. We'll go short. Someone's got to pick it up, and there's the dive. Right there short, and Volk will take over at about their 37-yard line. But Carter, although they turned it over, what did you like from New Bedford Volk on their offensive trip?
Yeah, you have to like the little pickup gains on the ground with these little trickery plays. It's just that one costly throw that you throw into coverage and the Raiders pick it off. So the Bears should just go back to those little QB zones, little QB runs, and those jet sweeps coming to the outside, because it was really picking up some really good yardage. 25 viewers at home tuning in. We thank every single one of you who couldn't make the trip to
follow our Raiders team. We also got some New Bedford fans and actually former alumni from Greater New Bedford tuning in tonight, so you got to love to see that. 1st and 10 for the Bears with 2:39 to go in the opening quarter. You're going to have 3 on the left side, 2 on the right. Good amount of separation. A motion comes in. Handoff up the middle. And a good run here for Greater New Bedford. That's Quincy Stroud past the 40. Stroud is taken down by Finn Crook at about the 20-yard line. Well, there's the big play that we talked about, Carter, right there.
Like I said, Keegan, those runs to the outside really can exploit that Raiders defense, and great tackle there by Finn Crook, but that's a huge gain for the Bears and giving them some momentum as they need it as they're down 12-0.
And again, they had that trips going on that left side, and there was about maybe 10 to 15 yards of separation between the inside guy on the left ahead of the furthest defensive back for Somerset Berkley. Mark it down, 39 yards on the play for Quincy Stroud, and it sets up a 1st and 10 at the Raider 24. All right, we're going to be in for a good one tonight. Figueroa will hand it off, and running on the left side, making a big run, Antunes. With Crook and Gooch taking him down inside the 10-yard line. And for the first time this evening, it's a 1st and goal for the Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech Bears.
Another great run there by Antunes. You got to hand it off to one of your best players, and Antunes is one of them, as he's picked up some really good gains and yardages in this game. And now that the Voc-Tech Bears are in scoring range, let's see what they can do and see if they can punch it in for a touchdown.
Brian Antunes, you definitely remember him from the matchup between these two schools last year. I believe he had 2 touchdowns in that 28-19 loss at Somerset Berkley, and we got a timeout called by that Somerset Berkley Raiders side with 1 minute and 59 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Well, fans, the fall sports season is halfway through. To access all sports schedules, head on over to arbiterlive.com, enter in your school in the search bar, and access all team matchups, times, and locations. That's Arbiter, A-R-B-I-T-E-R, live, L-I-V-E.com. We were talking about our Raider sports programs could make some noise. Again, congrats to your golf team. That's going to make it. You got a lot of talented players. You got Cole Souza, Finn Cavanaugh, you especially. But real quick while we have time, just talk about how the golf season's going overall for you guys.
Oh, it's definitely been an exciting season. I mean, we started off a little not so great. We started off 3-5, but then we picked up with 6 straight wins. We lost to Bourne yesterday, but it sucks to lose to that. But you just gotta keep on going, as we have a big ahead of us, SECs and the state tournament. So definitely as the season progressed, we have a match on Tuesday against Dighton Rehoboth. So definitely a big match there, as our first match of the season against them, and we lost.
You also have the SEC tournament coming up on Thursday, so can't wait to see what goes on with that. That's Antunes on the run, might have lost a yard or barely have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. A hostess of Raiders once again in there on the tackle. I'm actually interning with Bourne, as you know, this fall semester, and they've got a pretty good golf team. They started their season 7-1, lost a couple, but now have rebounded. I believe they're 8-7 on the year now. Their volleyball team is definitely going to make some noise. Them and East Bridgewater, another local team. So you never know, both of those schools, and maybe even New Bedford Voc, they've got a fantastic volleyball program here at the school. They could be making some noise as well. 2nd down and goal. Figueroa will look to pass, going on the right side towards the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. A little overthrown for Quincy Stroud. It was Finn Crook in defensive coverage, and now it's 3rd and goal from the 8.
Yeah, like the little play design there, a little out route and a corner route to the back of the end zone, and he was open. He had some separation, and if that ball was on target, that could have been a Bears touchdown.
You got a switch coming in. Jace James will step on for Voc, and Antunes will go off to the side. You got Montero and Morgan going out on the right. On the left side, you're going to have Stroud and Ayano. Figueroa with the handoff. It's a fake. It's Stroud going up the middle. Stroud gets taken down maybe a 1-yard gain on the play. And now a very interesting 4th down call coming up after it looks like Aiden Lambert got in there on the tackle.
Yeah. Aiden Lambert all over the field for this Raider defense to start this one. And as you said, Keegan, definitely a tough decision here on 4th down. It looks like Coach Silva might keep his offense on the field and try and go for it.
Feel like, although it's still early in the game, you got to keep your offense out there. It's a 2-score game. Even with the field goal, it's a 9-point game. It was a loss of 1 on the play. Clock winds to 25 seconds to go in quarter number 1. A 1-on-1 matchup on the left. That's Ayano against Christian Hicks. Trips on the right side. Figueroa going to throw the ball. Lasers at right side, and the catch is made. Or maybe an incomplete as it dropped at the last second. So it will be a turnover on downs. The Raiders will get the ball with 11 seconds to go.
Yeah, man, great defense there. We thought the receiver had it, but it turns out as he hit the ground, he lost possession. So definitely a bold gamble there by Coach Silva that did not pay off.
Would have been very close if he would have crossed the goal line or not. May have been stopped right at the 1. And now the Raiders take over, 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line. Will most likely be the last play before the end of the quarter. And a handoff play here for Somerset Berkley. A nice pile pusher out to the 21-yard line. A gain of 12 there by Liam Meehan. Liam Meehan's brother, Owen Meehan, the former QB here for the Raider football program, graduated class of 2023. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Well, the main highlight so far is the 65-yard pick 6 by Aiden Lambert to double the Raiders' lead. 12-0 Somerset Berkley after 12 minutes of play. We're going to take a short break on all of our feeds, and we'll be back for the second quarter in about a minute or so. Don't go anywhere. All right, back here at the Jeffrey Riley Football Stadium in New Bedford, starting quarter number 2 in this SEC opener. In fact, not just a matchup, the SEC football opener between Somerset Berkley and Greater New Bedford. It's a Raiders 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Meehan gets the motion all the way around. And that handoff went up the middle for no gain. Looking to see there was a big pile in there, and it looks like it went to Brody Cabral. On the tackle, it looks like Elias Robles. So they tried to do a little bit of a trickery, but it didn't pay off. A gain of 1.
Trying to go the power running up the middle with Brody Cabral, who is a big size there at the fullback position. And definitely last game, too, they tried to give him some carries up the middle. Eventually, it'll start working because the size of Brody Cabral can definitely push back some defenders.
Brody Cabral was the winner of the preseason sweepstakes where everybody had to sell little coupons. I believe he sold right around $800 worth as Sam Mello's going on that right sideline. Maybe a gain of another yard on the play, but a 3rd and long coming up. Sam Mello's father, Mr. Mello, and we got to say Mr. Mello, right? He's a teacher here at Somerset Berkley, one of the best. I don't know if you had him or not.
Yeah, Keegan, I've had him for the past 2 years for his, and now I'm in business management. Last year I was in sports finance, so definitely Mr. Mello, definitely one of the better teachers in the building.
I did business personal finance my senior year with him, and The best part about it was watching Shark Tank. That was my favorite part of the class. Tell you to take notes and how to be an entrepreneur. And I know there's people down there that are listening to our feed because they're mainly watching it for replay. So if Mr. Mello hears us, big shout out to Mr. Mello. 3rd down and 8, and we got a whistle. And let's see what this is about. I didn't see a flag get thrown in. But there is an offside against the Greater New Bedford Bears that will bump the ball up 5 yards and will make it a much more manageable 3rd down and 3. Maybe the guy on the motion was Jose Ramos. I didn't see it. Ramos, number 60, right on that defensive line. But either way, it goes from a 3rd and long to a 3rd and short. And here's the play. It goes to Liam Meehan. Running up the middle, Liam Meehan has a Raiders 1st down, pushing up to the 34-yard line. Another nice run up the middle.
Yeah, definitely a costly penalty there by the Bears. I mean, they went from, as you said, Keegan, 3rd and long to 3rd and short. And when you give 3rd and short to Liam Meehan, he'll most likely pick it up a good percentage of the time. And that's another Raiders 1st down.
Got a substitution coming in for Volk, and got to make sure everybody's got their wear bringing back to the sideline. Xavier Aussie was the one coming out. Here's the 1st down play. And the run on the side will go for about 3 yards. It was Finn Crook on it. And a nice tackle made there by the junior. Noah Tavares, the hockey player here at New Bedford Volk, wears number 2 during hockey season, but a star player that you're going to love those matchups against him coming up later this year.
Yeah. Always playing New Bedford Volk in the SEC is always a great matchup for us. It really gives us, they always play us hard, no matter the scoreline, no matter how much we're up or how much we're down, they always play with great intensity.
And that intensity showed later on in their season towards the end where they got the 2-1 win over Bourne, one of the bigger upsets we've seen in the SEC for hockey in a long time. Not much going there for Finn Crook. And a nice celebration after making the stop by Jace James. And let's see where they're going to officially mark it. It's going to be a gain of 4 on the play. Another 3rd down and 3 coming up. Just a reminder, make sure to subscribe to Blue Raider Studios on YouTube for video coverage of athletic and other SB school events. Also follow along on the Blue Raider Studios and SB_Athletics X pages. 3rd and 3 from the Raider 41. 8.5 to go, quarter number 2, 12-0, Somerset Berkley. On touchdowns by Meehan and Lambert. It's Meehan this time. Up to the 46-yard line, a gain of another 5, and that's good enough for a Raiders 1st down.
Pretty typical of this Raiders offense this season. The pitch to Liam Meehan up the middle or just to the outside in the A gap or B gap. And as usual, the Raiders pick up a 1st down off a Liam Meehan carry.
And with the Raiders driving again up by 12 points, this is going to play a factor later on in the game with the power rankings. You know you got to win by at least 14 points. That's the magic number in the power rankings. A win by 14 goes in as the same as a win by 60. But this New Bedford side, they're going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. So you never know. They could have some answers on their side. It was a 14-5 score the last time these two teams were here. As you get another run up the middle going to the Bears' 47-yard line. It's a gain of 7 yards on the play. I believe that was Liam Meehan on another carry. But Liam Meehan, as much as this season has had some injuries, some downsides, some players not living up to their preseason expectations, I think Meehan is meeting or maybe even exceeding some of those expectations.
For sure, Keegan. It's pretty good example on that play. He hurdled over 2 guys for an 8-yard gain. So Liam Meehan, who was closing in on over 500 yards this season in just over a little over 4 games, definitely an impressive start for the season for him.
Do want to apologize to our audience. It looks like we had some technical issues. It looks like they're all fixed now. There's Meehan again, and a gain of 1 yard that time. Nice takedown there by the Bears, and it looks like the junior Holden Cabral getting in there on the stop.
bringing up third down.
Well, Carter, while I fix these Wi-Fi issues real quick, a win against Voke, although it's another 0-4 team, what kind of momentum would that provide to Somerset going into next week's battle against Old Rochester?
Well, it's a conference win, first of all, Keegan, which is hugely important in the rankings and for momentum going on in the season, as I described before. And they really need this win because Old Rochester next week is going to be one of the biggest matchups of the season.
That pitch goes on the right side and nothing going there. It went to Finn Crook. And now decision time for Coach Freitas on a 4th down and 2.
Oliver with the tackle for the Bears. 4th down, Somerset Berkley.
Well, the ball is marked at the Bear 46. They got to get to the 44. They went for it on a 4th and 1 last week against Durfee. They got the 1 yard, but it was ruled about 3 inches short. They're going to keep the offense out there. Benjamin lines up under center, but first a timeout called by Coach Nick Freitas. That is Somerset Berkley's second timeout of the the first half. Well, you could say the second quarter as well. So 1 timeout remaining for Coach Freitas' crew. And as we just mentioned a second ago, Somerset Berkley is back in action next Friday night on the road as they take on the Old Rochester Bulldogs with the 6:30 kickoff over at David Hagan Stadium. Only one ever win for Coach Nick Freitas against the Old Rochester side since the switch from the EAC to the SEC in 2017. Carter and I will be on the call live on YouTube and on tape delay for our regular platforms. Greater New Bedford is on the bye next week. The New Bedford side is coming off of a loss to Fairhaven. I believe that was a 42-6 final over at Fairhaven High School last week. Yeah, I apologize again for the Wi-Fi miscues. It seems to be working okay, but stuff happens. 4th down and 2. It's a handoff. Finn Crook trying to find space on the outside. Finn Crook, and the reach might have gotten him there after the tackle was made by Noah Tavares, and it looks like they're going to give it to him on a 3-yard gain on the play. Good enough for a first down.
Yeah, great second effort there by Finn Crook. Didn't look like he got it initially, but then he reached the ball over the first down line and got it. So definitely an impressive effort there by Finn Crook.
24.
You got A.J. Griffin running on. Finn Crook will go off to the side. On a 1st and 10 from the Voke 43, Benjamin under center. And a QB keep up the middle. Benjamin trying to find some space. He found some on that right side to go up to about the 40-yard line. Should be a gain of 3 on the play. We've seen a good amount of keepers this year from Mason Benjamin. 21 coming into this season, totaling 41 yards, and he also had a rushing touchdown as well.
Yeah, I mean, that play on first down has been really common for this Raiders offense, and it's definitely worked as it picks up 3 to 4 yards each and every time they call it.
So it is a gain of 3 out to the Bears 40.
So we second down about
5:11 to go in the first half.
from the Greater Bedford 40-yard line.
Mello and Griffin lined up as the running backs, and it's going to be another keep. It was a direct snap, actually, to Liam Meehan going up the middle. Boy, where was Mason Benjamin on that one? He was probably off to the side, and there he is all the way over with Coach Nick Freitas. A nice little design play there, Carter.
Little wildcat, as I like to call it in the business, but definitely a great design play there by Coach Freitas, because Liam Meehan, no matter how you get him the ball, whether you give it to him off a handoff, a toss, or you give it to him off the snap, so definitely a great play design.
Gain of 2 will set up a 3rd down and 5 from the 38. It goes to Meehan. Meehan up the middle has another first down, wrapped up past the 30-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard gain.
And he produces another Somerset Berkley first down. 1st and 10. for the Raiders. From the Greater Bedford, 29.
And we have another timeout called on the field, this time by Greater New Bedford. So Carter, while this Wi-Fi keeps acting up for our tape delay feeds, I know we touched on it right around the end of the first quarter. What's working well for both sides, and what's something that has to be improved on going into half number 2?
Well, you got to look for the Raiders. I mean, that run game, the Liam Meehan's been working and chugging once again, like last week against Durfee. And as for the Bears, what they need to improve on is it's just the little things. It's those little mistakes. That one throw has cost them so much, not just play time, but also ball possession. They barely had any possession in this first half. So definitely looking for the second half for the Bears is ball possession.
Once again, tonight's coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union, offering personalized banking solutions and community-focused service with convenient locations in Somerset and Swansea. The Somerset Federal Credit Union is focused on you. As the first play out of the timeout will go for about 5 yards. Everybody in the pile after that play.
Tackle on the play by Holden Cabral.
A big shout out to Amy DeRosa, who helped Brian George and I get that sponsorship started. And it looks like we have an injury on the field. Well, it looks like that's Robert Forts who's down. Robert Forts, the senior lineman, 5'9", 155 he stands. And we'll pan the camera away from that, Brian. We never like showing the injuries. And you want to pan down real quick? A beautiful stadium that they have here in New Bedford, and a big crowd on hand as well. There is a mini de facto student section that is going on to our right. And that's the side that we want to see more of. Raider Nation. They're in front of us and a little bit more towards the left. They do get that window that is getting in the way, but hey, you can't help that, right? You got to work with whatever works. Well, Carter, I know we were teasing it the last time we were on the call against Malden Catholic about college commitment, stuff like that. Do you want to make an announcement here on the live stream?
Yeah, I'll be going to Bristol Community College next year, and it's definitely an exciting moment for me as I'm going to try and continue this so-called broadcasting thing.
Well, tomorrow marks the official 1-year anniversary of you doing it on a regular basis. We were joking around that you did 7 years ago around for a hockey game that your dad was coaching. You and JJ were doing it together. But you and JJ are probably, I would say now, the #1 duo for the broadcast team here in Somerset.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy doing it with JJ. It's something we've always dreamt of doing when we were kids, and now I'm glad it's coming into fruition.
And your first game was actually at home over at Hanson Memorial Stadium against this Greater New Bedford football side. You guys, at that point, although it's still early in the game, as Forts will come on over with a nice hand, you had a good game. We might have another good one here. But overall, you've already done a state title game. You've already done, I believe, a few Final Fours now. So you're getting all the experience out there 1 year in. And I didn't even do a state championship until 5 years in to my broadcasting career. Out of the timeout, a second down and 5. A big pitch back to Sam Mello. Mello avoids one tackle and eventually gets wrapped up by Jace James. Looks like maybe a loss on the play. Let's see where they'll mark it. Maybe a loss of 3 yards there for Mello. We'll set up a 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, I mean, that pitch was just slightly off, going into the back shoulder of Mello. If he got that ball in stride, it could have been huge yardage. So definitely a play that the Raiders can go back to later on in the game.
So the ball is marked at the 27-yard line. Mello Griffin out there as the backs. You got Brody Cabral in at fullback. Benjamin's going to line up under center again. And now you get a stack coming here for Cabral and Mello. So we hit under 3 minutes to go. It goes to Sam Mello. Sam Mello up the middle, spinning his way to about the 21-yard line. A good gain, but he's going to be 2 yards short. So decision time again. Do you give it to the guy who's just had the hot hand in Sam Mello. Do you go back to Liam Meehan, or do you maybe switch it up and go to the air?
Yeah, you never know what you could do. There's also another valuable option in A.J. Griffin, who hasn't seen the ball much today, but I'm sure as the game progresses, he'll see the ball a lot more.
A.J. Griffin on the year, 30 carries for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. 4th and 2. Here's the play. That's Meehan on the run. Liam Meehan inside the 10-yard line, dragging everybody down to the 5. A 16-yard gain and a 1st and goal coming up for the Raiders.
Yeah. Great play there by Liam Meehan. Once again, getting the ball at the middle, taking it in stride, and dragging 2 Bears defenders with him for another Raiders first down. And now they're inside the 5-yard line. Let's see what they can do here and see if they can punch in for a touchdown.
Liam Meehan had the first touchdown for Somerset Berkley. And he is out there on the left side with him and Griffin. And the pitch goes behind A.J. Griffin up the middle, spinning his way to the 1-yard line after a gain of 4. And now this might be a time where you just go quarterback, keeper, pile up a tush-push kind of play, and just help out your QB Mason Benjamin any way you can.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan, especially the way the Raiders' offensive line has played today when running up the middle. They've been pushing that Bears defensive line way back, and so definitely a right play there, Keegan. QB keeper up the middle should get them a touchdown here.
Mason Benjamin, not the biggest guy out there, stands at 5'10", taking over for Brendan McDonald, the 1-year starter last year, now over at Pomfret with his former basketball teammate Colton Pacheco. The 2nd down and goal play will go to Liam Meehan. Liam Meehan has a 2nd touchdown, and the Raiders have a 3-possession lead here in New Bedford. Nice 1-yard touchdown, found a lot of space on that right side.
That's touchdown number 6 for Liam Meehan on the season, and it's been an impressive one to start. And let's see what the Raiders do. Do they go for 2, or they try and kick the coveted extra point that had not avoided them all game?
Now, it looks like the offense will stay out there. They'll go for 2 again. Again, Gavin Kamara, now the de facto kicker for the Raiders side. 1 for 2 on his extra points against Durfee. First one was a solid make. The second one was blocked. The Raiders are 0 for 2 so far tonight on their 2-point conversion attempts. Benjamin directly under center yet again. It goes to Liam Meehan. Meehan up the middle, and he will be in for the successful 2-point conversion. That'll run the score to 20-0 in favor of Somerset Berkley with just under 1 minute to go in quarter number 2. And something's going on down there. Might be the cheer team. We get a shot of that, Brian? Nice round for the Greater New Bedford cheer side. Again, the pink out theme. They got the pink pom-poms, and a lot of the Raiders players out there wearing some pink there. So you got to love seeing the pink for both sides, especially the away team representing it as well for a good cause.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a great cause. October is the time where you see in all levels of football where the players wear pink, and it's not just that it's for a great cause. It also it makes the players look a lot better on the field. You can definitely see them as it's a bright pink socks or it's a shirt. You never know what you're going to get when it comes time for October.
Does hockey have a de facto pink out game or no?
Keegan, not that I know of, but maybe I'll try and get something started this year.
I think all of you would pull off pink very nicely. I don't know if I'd wear a pink suit upstairs, but I don't know. JJ and I don't think pink would be our color at all. And you're shrugging your head no. I think JJ would second that as well. Kamara back out there for the kick. You got Haven Pagan directly to his left. Pagan's a guy that we really haven't mentioned in our broadcast yet. He's had two solo tackles on the season, and both have come in the kickoffs. Kickoff is fielded at the 27-yard line by Olivier, and he's going to get taken down at the 35-yard line. And you had Chaudhry and Darlington getting in there on the combined stop. The return goes for about 10 yards. And it's 1st and 10 for Greater New Bedford. 55 seconds and a timeout to work with.
I mean, great tackle there by Hamza Chaudhry. A player who has struggled, had some highs and some lows this season, but tackles like that will definitely boost his confidence for the rest of the year.
Hamza Chaudhry came in with 11 tackles to his name, 6 solo and 5 assisted. First and 10 from the 36. It's going to go to the right side, and it's incomplete. He saw that one-on-one matchup. Mello was defending Josiah Morgan, and he found some space. He would have been gone had he made that catch.
Yeah, once again, it's one of those throws where if he just throws it in the vicinity of the receiver, that's might be 6 points. So definitely another play that Coach Silva can keep in his back pocket for later on in the game.
Still plenty of time to work with. It's 64 yards to go down the field. You get the old Carson Palmer trick, score at the end of the first half, and get the ball back to start the second half. 2 out wide either side. Looks like Antunes out there as the running back in an early snap. Now Figueroa going to run for his life. Will go to the side to Antunes. Antunes still on his feet before Seth Mello wraps him up after a 12-yard gain. That was definitely not a design play at all.
Yeah, doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter how you get first downs. Definitely an impressive way for Figueroa to control that snap and get it off to Antunes.
And now the Bears got to go quick, and we got movement. Flag will be a false start against Greater New Bedford. That'll back them up 5 yards. We'll make it a first down and 15 to go. As we have 35 seconds to go in half number 1. And Greater New Bedford will take their third and final timeout of the first half. And just a reminder to anybody watching on our live stream, we have 38 people watching at home. Again, thank you for tuning in. Keegan Hamblett with Carter Silvia on commentary and Brian Moniz running our camera. For the live stream audience, we will keep it here during halftime. We're going to go to the internal mic. You can hear some tunes, some cheerleading chants, which they always do a fantastic job down there. And Carter and I will take about a 10 to 15 minute break before returning to commentary. Our tape delay feeds, unfortunately, you won't see any halftime stuff. We will take that break and we'll be back for the second half when it gets to around kickoff time. Well, Carter, I got to say, this is actually my first time here after 7 years of doing commentary. I love the stadium. I don't know if this is your first time here or not.
Yeah, it's definitely my first time here too, Keegan. And yeah, it's definitely an impressive stadium. Nice press box we got here and nice field they got out there as well. Kind of like the old school numbers on the side. Very cool to see.
First and 15. Figueroa will step up, looking long down the field. Has a chance to be picked, and it's incomplete. On that left sideline, it looked like it was Christian Hicks that was defending that pass. A nice defensive work, but we were talking about it before the game. That is the power that Figueroa can put under that ball going down the field.
Sure, but great coverage there by Christian Hicks, giving the receiver no separation on that play. And also a great job by Austin Parker to come across the field and make sure, just in case he does get the catch, she can pry that ball out.
So now a second down and 15, still 28 seconds to go. 2 out either side yet again. Cabral, the furthest one out on the right. And we got movement again. Here come the flags. Another false start. We'll back him up another 5 yards.
Outside, Green Bedford.
And the announcer down there said offside. Some of Raider Nation, you could hear it. They were about to say, what? Now the ball marked at the 38. They started their drive at the 36. And here's the snap. Figueroa looks over the middle, gets deflected off of the hands of Josiah Morgan, falls incomplete. But now, Carter, now you got to be careful with this play because you still got Somerset on their side with 1 timeout and still 23 seconds to go. So you don't want to give them another opportunity right over here on that side of the field.
For sure, Keegan, especially with that type of plays right there. That was a deep drop by Figueroa, and it was a good pass, just dropped right through the hands of the receivers. So they really, yeah, as you said, Keegan, they got to really watch out because the Raiders could get this ball back and punch another score in.
And prior to the snap, there is another flag on the play. It's against Greater New Bedford, another 5 yards. And this is similar to what we saw at the start of the second half in the Durfee game. There were 4 straight plays, I believe, with flags to start quarter number 3 there. And now we got another one. And let's see who this one is on. Yeah, another false start.
Penalty on Greater Bedford.
Wow. Well, if it's any point of consolation, there was a play last year when Somerset played DR, and Somerset converted a 3rd and 38. This is a 3rd and 30. Figueroa is going to roll right this time, looking for some options. Will go short. The pass will be complete at the 41-yard line. It's Mello and Lambert getting in there on the stop as Quincy Stroud made the reception. Still a long way to go. It's going to go down as a gain of 13 yards on the play. And New Bedford will go in punt formation. So, Finn Crook will look to return this punt. And still a timeout to work with if Freitas elects to go for one final bomb. In punt formation, Kevin Rivas. And a fake. Rivas on the keeper, taken down at the 35-yard line. 9 seconds to work with, Carter. This is a big chance now for Somerset.
And Coach Freitas is known for his aggressiveness, and this could be where we see a deep pass, which is a rare commodity for the Raiders, as they don't really throw a lot of deep passes, but I think on this one, might as well go for the end zone. You're up 20-0. Why not?
Mason Benjamin has one passing touchdown this year, came in 14 of 27 in pass attempts. He does have the one so far today that played to Brody Cabral. Potentially now 2 plays to work with. Parker is out there at the left running back position. Benjamin is going to pass this ball, has to run to the right. Mason Benjamin steps up, goes down the field, has a man, and it's dropped. Oh, a big chance there. Looked like that was Sam Mello, or maybe Austin Parker going deep there. You had Kyle Hamblett going down the field as well, but one more chance here for the Raiders.
Yeah, it looks like I was right. He can go for a deep pass to Austin Parker, who had a controversial fumble in the last game against Durfee. Don't know whether it was a fumble or not as we went back into the footage, because it was really hard to see as his back was turned to the camera. But that was definitely a great play design there.
And Hamblett's going to run off of the field. I know we were hoping for the brotherly touchdown. I don't think we're going to get it here. Oh, one last play to end the first half. Let's see what Freitas draws up. Mason Benjamin going to pass this ball. Will step down the field. It will be intercepted for the 5th time this year. And Parker and Mello coming in to wrap him up. You don't need any extracurricular stuff. After that, on the interception will be the sophomore, Evan Montero. So the 5th interception of the year by Mason Benjamin ends the first half here. New Bedford Vote gets the ball to start the second half in about 15 minutes' time. Carter, what's going to be the talk from Coach Matt Silva to his players?
Yeah, it's just got to be to limit those mistakes. I mean, 3rd and 30 off almost 4 or 5 false starts. That's something you do not want, especially at the end of the first half when you need momentum. So it's definitely just got to be clean up those mistakes.
We're going to take a short break on our live stream audio feeds and on our tape delay feeds. Half number 2 between Somerset Berkley and Greater New Bedford comes up in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Raider football on YouTube and on our local TV stations, presented by the Somerset Federal Credit Union. All right, everyone, we are back at the Jeffrey Riley Football Stadium here on the campus of Greater New Bedford High School, ready to start the second half in tonight's South Coast Conference football opener. It's the Somerset Berkley Raiders on top of the Greater New Bedford Bears, 20-0 through 24 minutes of play. Again, we do thank every single one of you tuning in, whether it's on the live stream on my broadcasting YouTube channel, Berkley Community Access TV Channel 9, Somerset Access TV Channel 98, or the Blue Raiders Studios YouTube channel. Keegan Hamblett with Carter Silvia on commentary, and Brian Moniz running our camera. Carter, we talked about it just before the halftime break, but what really impressed you most overall in that first half?
Oh, it had to be those runs to Liam Meehan. It was constantly getting 5 or 6 yards. Once again, it seems like every game Liam Meehan's just consistently doing that, and they're probably going to keep going back to him because he can't be stopped right now.
New Bedford Vogt gets the ball to start the second half. What do you want to see on their first offensive drive that maybe we didn't see overall in the first half?
I think the first thing, Keegan, is they got to limit those penalties. I mean, last drive, having a 3rd and 30, that's almost impossible to come back from, especially at the end of the first half. So let's just see what they can do. Try and get the small gains first, and then the big gains will come later on.
It's the sophomore Gavin Kamara on the kickoff for Somerset Berkley, who's doing a tremendous job filling in for the injured senior Cullen Doherty. I mean, if he keeps this up, Carter, you're going to be looking at a very exciting next 2.5 years for Kamara. Ball's kicked for high school at the 40. 3 back for Vogt. Second half underway. It's going to be a short kick handled at the 38-yard line. And the return will go to the 46 before Aiden Lambert trips up Jacoby Ayano. Again, this coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union, offering great rates, trusted financial guidance, and personalized service with convenient locations in Somerset and Swansea. The Somerset Federal Credit Union is focused on you. So it'll go down as an 8-yard return by Ayano and a 1st and 10 at the Bears' 46-yard line. Seen a lot of passing plays from this Bears offensive side. Again, a new QB under center replacing Nick Boucher last year. Doing great stuff now at Westfield State. The first play is a run and a nice pile pusher for a gain of about 6 yards on the play. That's what you want to see at the start.
Yeah, once again, with those small gains, they'll build your confidence and progressively throughout the game. You can start going deeper and down the field. Trying to go deep early on may not always work because the Raiders team has clearly been ready for it all game.
And those 5-6 yard gains, they add up quickly too, whether it's on the stat side or moving right down the field. It goes as a gain of 6, so a 2nd down and 4 from the Raiders side of midfield. Antunes as the running back, 2 out wide either side. Figueroa shotgun formation, drops back, looking right. The pass will be complete. And a nice strong tackle made just past the 45-yard line by Gavin Gooch. On the reception, Quincy Stroud. Gavin Gooch, that last game against Durfee, we talked about a lot of strong tackles down the stretch in the 4th quarter. And he's a guy that's been doing a lot of kickoff returns this year.
Yeah, for sure. Keegan kick and punt returns have been his main focus this season. Now getting the start on defense today, he's definitely lived up to the hype as he's played very well here tonight.
Gavin Gooch with 8 tackles on the season. He also has 5 returns that have totaled 61 yards. 1st and 10 from the 43. Figueroa, another passing play. We'll go over the middle, and it is caught barely after juggling it with Stroud. And it goes for 4 yards, so a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Well, let's talk about Gavin Gooch real quick. A junior, another player that's going to be back for the Somerset Berkley side. And when you're getting these reps, whether it's Gooch as a junior, Gavin Kamara as a sophomore, even Tyrese Brown when he was out there as a junior, that's what you love to see because you're going to have a lot of these returning players that we didn't see much of, maybe except for the running backs and O-line last year.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. Developing your young players as Figueroa passes outside the Quincy Stroud, and that's a great tackle there by Liam Meehan as he's been all over the field tonight, whether it's running the ball or tackling on defense.
It'll be no gain on the play. Liam Meehan there on the tackle. Liam Meehan with a couple tackles this season, came in with 8, 3 solo, 5 assists. So a 3rd down and 6 coming up from the Raider 39-yard line, just over 2 minutes into this 3rd quarter. And going out on the left side, you got Montero and Ayano. 2 out on the right side as well. Man-to-man matchups, but you got some open space on this inside guy on the left. He's going to cut in the middle. Figueroa going long down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. It looks like we do have a flag thrown on the play. It looks like there's 2 flags, too. The hat came off. This might be a push out of bounds and a potential roughing the passer here, so let's check it out.
39.
Maybe no flag on the play. I thought I saw one get thrown out. And Figueroa got decked as he was releasing that ball, trying to go down the side. So 4th down and 6. Coach Silva keeps the offense out there. Coach Silva still looking for his first win as a head coach. A Somerset native. See what he draws up on a 4th and 6. Figueroa getting pressured, stepping up, and releases it. Incomplete. Good defensive coverage by Sam Mello, forcing the turnover on down. That was Ayano was trying to go up to make the catch.
Yeah, great play there by Sam Mello on 4th down, and they need him to come up clutch there, and he was right in the way. No chance for Ayano to catch the ball, and that'll be a turnover and downs as this Raider offense gets their first drive of the second half.
It's a good step up, though, by Figueroa, as you had pressuring him. It looked like Parker and Hamblett able to get back to that line of scrimmage just to release the ball. Good work from him. So the Raiders take over at their own 39-yard line, a 1st and 10 for the boys in white. It's a pitch back, and it'll go up the middle for maybe a yard or 2. Looks like a 1-yard gain on the play. For the first time we've mentioned him today, Jared Tavares.
Yeah, Jared Tavares gets very few carries on the season as he wasn't the starter as a defensive back either today, but great to see him in the game as he's one of the leaders on this Raider team as a senior.
Jared Tavares with 4 tackles this year. That was his first play on the offensive side, whether it was a running play, receiving play. Good to see him on the offensive side. It's a gain of 2 on the play, a 2nd and 8. Pitch back again. The run goes to the 45-yard line by Liam Meehan. Maybe an extra yard in there, but it will be short. A 3rd down and 3 coming up, a 5-yard gain there for the senior running back.
Number 3, Liam Meehan. Okay, we're going to 3rd down and about 4 from the 46.
Raiders line up for their 3rd down play. Everybody for New Bedford Vogue bunched up within 2 to 3 yards. It's a pitch back and a quick tackle made. Loss of 1. And it looked like it went to Liam Meehan again, so a 4th down and 4. What are you drawing up, Carter, on this play?
I mean, it's a 4th down and 4. They just stuffed Liam Meehan for a loss, so definitely look like you're going to have to go to the passing game, whether it's a short little pass to the bubble screen or to up the middle to the outside. Doesn't matter what you do, you have to find a way as there's a timeout. Somerset Berkley Raiders.
Somerset Berkley.
First timeout taken by the Raiders in this second half. That comes with 7:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, let's preview next week's football matchup against Old Rochester. This is an Old Rochester side, as we were talking during the halftime break. They're on the bye this week. So they're going to be 2 weeks without playing an actual game of football. Now, the bye, Carter, it can damage you or it can help you get some rest, or it might provide a little, I haven't played football in a little bit.
I think for a team that's 0-4 like New Greater from Bedford Vogue and Somerset Berkley Raiders, it provides a rest well needed, especially with a rough schedule to start the year. And they may need it because it allows for more practice time and allows the team to regroup and find better ways to win.
The SEC this year has really been struggling, especially on our division side. You got Somerset Berkley and Vogue coming in at 0-4, and it looks like there's going to be a punt here. You got Apponequet, who's also 0-4, Old Rochester at 0-4. DR, I believe, has a win or 2 in there. So watch out for those teams. Yeah, DR, I think, is 2-2. Here comes the punt. And it's a good one from Christian Hicks. Fielded at the 26-yard line. Here comes the return by Jace James. Taken down at the 32-yard line, a 6-yard return. On the net play, you can mark it 23 yards, but Vogt takes over, and gotta love seeing that out there from Christian Hicks.
Yeah, Christian Hicks, not one who's punted all year. Last game it was James Darlington who took some punts against Durfee, and Christian Hicks, first one of the year, definitely a good one.
And he just said the fourth punter on the year. So Doherty, Benjamin, and Darlington have each taken some punts before this game. Darlington had the punt against Durfee that won for 46 yards. It was a nice little roller going down the field. A 1st and 10 at the Bears 33. A motion coming in front, and Figueroa looks to keep it. Figueroa is sacked on the play by Drew Dion, but there are 2 flags on the play. One coming in from the backfield, the other one coming in from the sideline. A personal foul, a horse collar tackle against Somerset Berkley. Oh, the Raiders have had a couple of those called on them this year. So bump it up, and it'll be an automatic first down for the Bears.
Yeah, even though it's a horse collar tackle, you got to love how explosive Drew Dion got into that backfield. He blew up that play with perfection, and despite the horse collar tackle, you got to love the effort displayed there.
So a 15-yard penalty puts the ball at the 48.
1st and 10 from your own.
Clock winds under 7.5 to go in quarter number 3. This is a crowd that has been absolutely electric despite the score tonight. Greater New Bedford Nation making their presence known. You got Figueroa telling Montero to go out on that left side, one-on-one. And it's a pitch play. This is Stroud going up, and a nice tackle in the middle. That's Kyle Hamblett there on the stop.
Yeah, great tackle there by Kyle Hamblett. Haven't heard his name much today, but definitely on the offensive side of the ball. Playing at the tight end position today, he's been a huge factor in the run game as he's been blocking great upfield.
Hamblett coming into today's game with 15 tackles, 3 solo and 12 combined, much to the chagrin of himself when I've been going over these stats. And he actually led the team last week against Durfee with, I believe, 8 tackles in that game. A couple switcheroos, and we had some again tonight. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. I'm just about midfield, a yard behind. A stack of 2. Figueroa will look to go back to the air. Figueroa step up, taken down again. A combined tackle by Hamblett and Gooch. And Hamblett hyping up his team after backing away from that one.
Yeah, Hamblett and Gooch on the tackle. Kyle Hamblett, haven't heard his name much today, as I say again, but now he's making his presence known on the defensive side of the ball, being all over the place here to start this second half.
Kyle Hamblett, a senior, one of 4 captains on the Somerset Berkley side. Him, Liam Meehan, Drew Dion, and Gavin Sylvester. And here comes Jaden Medeiros back in for Max Pasternak. Max Pasternak was a guy that wasn't around the football program for a while, and then he elected to come back for his senior year. He was a part of that undefeated freshman side that these seniors were a part of. A 3rd down and 10 coming up. Figueroa under center from the 48. Back to the air, rolling right. Go short, and it's off of Austin Parker and incomplete. A nice deflection down, and Carter, you know that could have been a pick right there.
And Austin Parker already with an interception on the season against Malden Catholic, so he would have loved to get that one back, as that could have been a really nice one-handed interception.
Did have the interception. He had one this year. It was against Hanover. And Austin Parker, he was maybe a quote-unquote, I don't want to say unknown coming into this year, but last year's season didn't have a lot of flashy plays on the varsity side, but he's been stepping up this year so far, making some noise for this Raiders defense. Vogt keeps the offense out there on a 4th down and 10, 2 out wide each side. Antunes as the running back, right side of Figueroa. It's Mello defending the one-on-one on the near side, Hicks on the far side. Figueroa going to get pressured by Dion and Hamblett. Figueroa stepping up, looking to take off, going to be close, and I think he's going to get the first down out to the 41.
Great play there by Figueroa, scanning the field, seeing he had nothing open. Instead of throwing the crossbody throw, he tucks the ball and gets an easy Bears first down.
Gain of 11 yards on the quarterback keeper there. I don't see that drawn up too much, but you had Drew Dion running, flying into the middle. And then as soon as he was going out to the left, Kyle Hamblett was trying to make a play on it. But good work by his O-line. I believe Jamison Hamilton out there got one last block to help create some space for him. James comes off to the side. On the left is Morgan and Stroud. A one-on-one on the right side with Sam Mello defending. Watch out for some outside pressure over here as there was a switch. The handoff goes up the middle to Antunes, and he's taken down by Gavin Gooch after a 1-yard gain on the play.
Brian Antunes in carry for the Bears.
Brian Antunes Carter, I got to say, surprisingly, he's been a little bit quiet in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders knew coming in he was going to be an impact player for Greater New Bedford Voc, and they've done a great job containing him in this game because as last year, as we know, Antunes went off with 2 touchdowns.
Again, a 28-19 Raiders win in last year's matchup over at the Hanson Memorial Stadium. That'll be 1 year ago tomorrow. 2nd and 9 from the Raider 40. It's a pitch back. Stroud going right and forced out. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play was Brody Cabral taking that tackle away from Sam Mello.
Yeah, great job by the both of them, Sam Mello and Brody Cabral. Brody Cabral really making a name for himself this season, coming in, not having the highest expectations as some of the seniors on this Raider team, but he's definitely proved himself to be a very valuable asset to this Raider defense and offense.
Brody Cabral, again, not the tallest guy out there at 5'9", but that 220-pound build. And you know, when that force is applied, you know he's going to do damage. Ball still marked at the 40 with a no gain on the play, a 3rd down and 9. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. The Bears like this formation. This time trips on the left side. Figueroa looking to pass, stepping up and taken down. Looks like a combined sack, maybe. Drew Dion and Kyle Hamlin. Looks like the ball might have come out on that. Let's see what the call was. I didn't see a blue flag come out for a turnover. The referee's still discussing. And it's Raiders ball. There was a signal pointed the other way. Somerset Berkley takes possession over right near midfield. And we probably got to look at a replay on that. I couldn't tell who got the recovery. Maybe Gavin Gooch was in the mix there, but I'll pull it up on here while you break down that play.
Yeah, I mean, just a great explosive in the backfield for the Raiders. I mean, Drew Dion and your brother Kyle Hamblett really get in there fast, and Figueroa had no time to throw and took the punishment as he fumbled the ball, and now the Raiders have another offensive possession here.
Let's see. Let's watch the replay on our end. Unfortunately, the viewers at home can't see it. It's this guy running in that's going to get the ball. And it looks like that is Gavin Gooch down there in the pile. So as of now, we're going to credit it to Gooch. The officials are still conferring out there. This might be on where the ball might be marked on the field, because I thought it occurred back a little bit more. And now the defense comes back out. So the last play was a 3rd and 9 for New Bedford Voc. If it stays their ball, it'll be a 4th down and long to go. So it is going to be New Bedford ball, and Freitas is irate coming on over outside of his area. So if it stays where it is right now, it's going to be a 4th and 14. And honestly, Carter, if you're the Raiders, you might take that as a play. One, because you have another chance to force another turnover. And two, that's going to go down as the second team sack on the season. They haven't gotten a lot of pressure to the QBs this year.
No, and it's great to see that they've started getting pressure this game. Let's see what Figueroa can do here on 4th and 14.
Figueroa looking left, goes down the field, has a man. Oh, and it almost dropped in the breadbasket. Evan Montero beating Austin Parker to that ball. Couldn't have thrown it any better. Now it will be a turnover, this time on downs, and the Raiders will take over at the 45-yard line. Well, Carter, you couldn't have asked any better for your junior quarterback, Gabe Figueroa, to make that pass over. That was a perfectly thrown pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's another play where that's a great, not the quarterback's fault there. He actually made a great pass. It just went right through Montero's hands, and that could have been a huge play for the Bears, as that could have gotten back in the game.
Raiders take over 1st and 10. It goes to Liam Meehan behind. Liam Meehan pushing the pile forward. Past midfield out to the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 to start this Raiders offensive drive.
Pushes the ball down. Just over the midfield stripe. So we're going to 49.
Mason Benjamin still out there, directing the calls as quarterback. If there is a de facto quarterback, you get a couple different options out there if Freitas elects to go to them. The only other one that's been under center, if we're not counting a direct snap, was Sam Mello. It's Benjamin this time on the keeper. He gets out to the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3, and that brings up a 3rd down and 1 to go. But this O-line, Carter, they do damage for Somerset Berkley every single year. It's like they find the perfect guys for it every single year.
Yeah, it seems like every year they have the size and the speed at the offensive line position. And even they have such great athletes on the offensive line that they'll move them to tight end, for example, like Kyle Hamblett, who was playing guard most of the season, now a tight end, and he's been playing really well at the position.
3rd and short, it goes to Meehan. Meehan has enough for a Raiders 1st down, spinning his way to the 40. Before coming in on a combined tackle, Jace James and Seth Olivier. The junior and the sophomore in there on the stop. But the Somerset Berkley side, Carter, all season long, they've been moving the ball down the field. Tonight, they're capitalizing on their drives.
For sure, Keegan, and it's also the extra effort that really helps them capitalize on the drives. Brody Cabral came at the end of that play and pushed the pile forward to allow Meehan to get a couple extra yards, so definitely another point to note there.
This is Sam Mello looking to pass, has Finn Crook down the field. Incomplete. Might have been a deflection by Evan Montero. Oh, they tried the trickery, and it looks like there is a flag on the field. This might be a hold. Let's see. It is a hold against Somerset Berkley. So maybe it's okay that the pass wasn't complete. Let's see. Now the question's going to be if Silva wants to accept or decline, and it looks like he's going to accept it to make it a 1st down and 20 instead of a 2nd down and 10. So bonus there for Sam Mello because the penalty was accepted. It doesn't go against him in the passing category.
Yeah, for sure, Keegan. And he almost completed that pass. If he wasn't pressured off his back foot, that kind of went to Finn Crook. Obviously didn't count because of the hold, but definitely an impressive little play call there by Coach Freitas.
That's a double handoff. It's Griffin losing 1 there. A.J. Griffin getting wrapped up by Antunes.
Number 30, Brian Antunes.
A loss of 1 on the play. A.J. Griffin is one of those guys where it seems like he always gets 3 yards every single time he runs the ball. Sometimes he loses some, sometimes he gets the big play too, but he's always one of those guys where, hey, if you're 3rd down and short, 4th down and short, just give him the ball, pile forward for a first down.
Yeah, and they have so many options at that running back position that it's impressive that when he gets the carries he does, he's not comes in cold with cold feet because he's not getting the ball as much as he should. So definitely always an impressive player to watch is Aiden Griffin.
This time the pitch goes to Liam Meehan. We'll get that lost yardage back. It goes for a gain of 3 out to the Bears' 48-yard line. So now a 3rd down and 18 coming up. Would have only been the second time had that play stood that the Raiders went to the air, the second pass attempt of the game, but still only one officially in the books. 3rd and long, you go back to the air again, let Mason Benjamin throw one downfield.
For sure, Keegan, and Raider players have been open. It's just whether the ball can get there in time before a Bears defender can make a play on it. So let's see what they do here.
3rd and long coming up. They will go to the air. Benjamin has some space on the right side, now going to take off with it on the keeper. And Benjamin will be pushed out by Antunes at the 41-yard line, a gain of 7, so now a 4th and 11 coming up. And honestly, though, that works because you don't have to get it all 18 right away. You get 7 yards, you can set up a 4th down and much more manageable 11.
Yeah, 4th and 11. And let's see what they draw up here. They could go back to the pass, but as we've seen all game, the Bears have really done a great job in covering the pass. So let's see what the Raiders do here on this 4th and 11.
This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. There's only 2 seconds on the clock. Benjamin looking to pass it. Benjamin going to go short to Finn Crook. Going to need some help. Finn Crook stepping up. He's going to have the first down and more. Finn Crook going all the way for a Raiders touchdown. Finn Crook, 41 yards to end the 3rd.
Wow, at the start of that play, Keegan, we never thought he would go for 6, and what an impressive display of agility there by Finn Crook, taking the screen pass, making a couple defenders miss, and scoring a Raiders touchdown.
For Finn Crook on the season, that is his first touchdown. And the touchdown came at the end of the quarter, so they will stay going right to left for this 2-point conversion attempt. Cabral and Griffin lined up behind Benjamin as he went under center. It's A.J. Griffin, and he's going to be short. So the Raiders once again falling short on a 2-point conversion attempt. 1 for 4 on the evening so far. But they got a 26-point lead going into the final 12 minutes.
Just to note, even though the Bears are down 26-0 here coming into the 4th quarter, hold up them 4s. They've had some positive defensive plays, like holding the Raiders to 1 for 4 on 2-point conversion. So that's definitely some positive notes for the Vogue Tech Bears.
And someone's about to win a $180 prize down there.
9-0-0.
And I know we're hoping for a Somerset fan to win that one.
9-0-0.
Let's see, everybody's looking around. Hey, you just wait for everybody to start cheering to figure out who wins that. And the next Raiders home game is going to be in 2 weeks against Dighton Rehoboth. We are going to have some raffles, including one lucky prize winner is going to receive 2 free hours of bowling for 2 people at the AMF Bowling Alley in Somerset. So come on down, support the seniors. That'll be our senior night against Dighton Rehoboth. And take part in the raffles. All the money goes to the Boosters Club, which supports all of the athletic programs. And Carter and I, we're big supporters of the athletic programs, especially you play there. We both call for most of them here. So come on down. And it's a fun atmosphere to be a part of.
Oh, for sure, Keegan. Somerset Berkley Sports has always held themselves to a higher standard, and hopefully throughout the season, if I got some time, me and JJ Silvia are trying to get on some calls for the field hockey team, so hopefully we can be able to do that.
As long as they don't make the state final, I want that one. Hey, you had the baseball Final Four, though, which that was cool to go to BC High. Here's the return. It goes to the 35. And nice strong tackle. I believe that's his first of the season, making that one And great. Now we don't have a number on my roster. Number 30 out there for Somerset. We got to figure out who that was.
36-yard line. 36-yard
And either way, a 1st and 10 for Greater New Bedford as they take over. But you got to love seeing that. The new guy out there making the stop.
Yeah, definitely in showboating after the play. And Coach Freitas did not look happy with that one. But you got to know it. When you make your first couple plays on varsity, it's definitely an exciting time.
On the tackle, we just got word from Coach Siska. It is the sophomore Nick San Martin, the 6'1" guy, making the big stop. Oh, 1st and 10 at the Bears 36. So we're into the final 12 here tonight. Raiders well on their way to get their first win of the season. This is Antunes on the run, who's going to be tackled for a loss of about 2 yards on the play. Looks like another combined stop in there. Maybe me and Parker getting into the mix. Well, despite the scorecard, we always take positives away, whether if you're up by 50, down by 50, or tonight down by 26. What have you liked from Greater New Bedford that they got to take into their next game?
I like how their wide receivers have got separation on passes. It's just they can't either get the catch or the throw is not online, but their receivers have really done a good job of getting open. It's just whether the ball can get in their hands and gain the yardage itself.
Loss of 2 is 2nd down and 12. Figueroa looking to pass, going left. Gavin Gooch with the sack, taking him down at the 25-yard line. Gavin Gooch, his first sack of the season. That's 2 tonight for the Raiders.
Yeah, Gavin Gooch, we were talking about him in the pregame, how he could be an impact player when you give him the chance, and he was given the start today, and it looks like Coach Freitas will use him weeks to come as he's played spectacular here tonight.
It's a loss of 8 yards on that sack. 3rd down and 20. Another reminder to the fans watching at home, Carter and I will be back next week. Next Friday night at Old Rochester. If you can't make the trip to Marion, be sure to tune in to our YouTube live stream. Probably going to be our biggest crowd of the season in terms of viewership. And that's excluding, of course, when you and JJ do the Thanksgiving game coming up against Central next month. 3rd and forever, Figueroa dropping back, looking to go long, this time on the right side. Finn Crook is there for an interception right at midfield as Figueroa was trying to find Quincy Stroud down the field, and the Raiders will take over at their own 49.
Yeah. Really just a mistake there by Figueroa. Really just throwing up a prayer ball up in the air, and Finn Crook having probably the easiest interception he'll ever have in his life as it just dropped right in his hands for an easy interception, as the Raiders will take another drive here on offense, looking to just kill some clock and punch in another touchdown to solidify this game.
And just a reminder to anybody watching, if the differential gets to at least 30 points in this quarter, it goes to a running clock. It doesn't matter if Vogt cuts back into it to get it under 30. Once that differential reaches 30 in the 4th, it goes to running clock mode. At any point in the 3rd quarter, it's when it reaches a differential of 42. 1st and 10 at the Raider 49-yard line. Still got their main starters out there. Benjamin's still in there under center. That pitch play not going to work for the Raiders as they just barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like Sam Mello was taking that one on the stop. Yeah, Josiah Rodriguez, the sophomore for Greater New Bedford. So no gain on the play, a 2nd down and 10. But Carter, if the Raiders get another chance, or even if they get further down the field, this will get to the point of the game, and even on the New Bedford side as well, where these players, these 3rd, 4th stringers that might not see much action, hey, you get to see what the future of the program is, or somebody you can go to down the stretch.
Yeah, for sure. Keegan has it's a run up the middle with Brody Cabral, and as I said before, when you give Brody Cabral a chance, he can make plays, and that's a good, solid 4-yard gain there. And as you were talking about with the 3rd and 4th stringers, it is a great chance to see on both sides what they can do, because you're going to need them next year, as they're going to have to be. It's always a next man up mentality here in high school football.
From the 26.
3rd down and 5 after that gain of 5 by Cabral. And another pitch back. Good run up on the right side. 1st down Raiders. As Sam Mello going in on the run. It looks like a tackle made by Elias Robles, the senior.
Yeah, Sam Mello not really having the game he wanted today, as he's usually a big play type of player, but it's been a lot of short gains here today, but that's a good one for the momentum going on to the game next week against Old Rochester.
And that's the game that everybody looks forward to because Freitas has only beaten them once. Now, the Raiders used to be a part of the Eastern Athletic Conference, the EAC, before going over to the South Coast Conference right around that 2016-2017 school year. Only one win for the boys against Old Rochester, and they have had some terrific matchups. The one last year at Hanson Memorial Stadium was one for the ages, as Liam Meehan will get it this time. Liam Meehan spinning his way for a first down and more. Liam Meehan down the left side, inside the 10, and close to the pylon. Will be out at the 1-yard line, 39 yards.
Liam Meehan known for bruising and running up the middle with hard runs, but he showed there that he's got some speed as he took off to the outside for another Raiders first down, and it looks like they'll be inside the 5-yard line looking to punch in another touchdown to solidify this game and put a win column for the Raiders.
Let's see. They're going to say he was officially out at the 3-yard line. So mark it 37 yards down. You know what the best part of Raiders win is going to be, Carter? You get to rewatch the whole game just to make sure the stats are correct. And you get to add that one to the stat total. Liam Meehan in for another touchdown. Touchdown number 5 for the Raiders this evening. And they're just pouring it on now here in New Bedford.
Yeah, Liam Meehan, another touchdown for him on the board. He's been unstoppable the past 2 games, and as this season progresses, if he can keep going, he can have a historic season for the Raiders.
Liam Meehan, as we mentioned, averaging over 100 yards a game this season. I got to tally up what this one is tonight, but he's, I believe, succeeded it by a good amount. And they're going to go for the extra point attempt here. Mason Benjamin, the quarterback, will be on the hold. Ball is down. Kick is up by Kamara, and it is no good. It might have been blocked again. So Kamara goes to 1-3 on extra point attempts this season. Keeps the score at 32-0. And we talked about it. Now we're in running clock mode with 7 minutes to go.
So it's 7:13 remaining in the contest. Somerset Berkley 32. Grand Bedford 0.
And just a reminder on some other South Coast Conference results. Old Rochester not in action tonight. You got these 2 teams going at it. You got Apponequet taking on Dartmouth. So no other SCC matchups tonight besides this one going on. But the first result's going to come in, Carter. The other 3 SEC teams are going to see this and be like, okay, now we know kind of who's decent, who's towards the bottom of the standings but can still make some noise in some aspects.
Yeah, even though the Raiders are 0-4, they're still one of the top teams in the South Coast Conference. So teams should definitely watch out for them because they're going to be dangerous coming down the stretch.
And you got 4 teams that are 0-4 overall coming into tonight. So, and everybody was talking about it at home in Berkeley and Somerset, wherever you went and you're a part of the football community. The SEC is wide open for anybody to take this year. So that's the best part about it, because it always seems to come down to the Old Rochester Apponequet Thanksgiving game, and everybody else is all set. They know what they're going to finish. And everybody for Somerset was rooting for Apponequet, and Apponequet ended up shocking the Bulldogs. Here's the kick. Going on the right side, fielded at the 30. And the return will go to the 40. Everybody getting in there for the Raiders on the stop. The extra push will go to the 41, and you got a scrum going on the side. Your teammate Gavin Kamara getting in the mix against, looks like there was Jacoby Ayano he was getting in there with. You don't need any of that in a 32-point game.
Kind of uncharacteristic by Gavin Kamara, always a quiet kid and never really gets into any kind of scruffles like that, but maybe football brings out a different side to you than hockey.
And listen, I interviewed Gavin Kamara after one of your wins last season. Now, is he quiet a little bit? Yeah. Is he calm and composed? Yeah. But you play hockey. Everybody's going to be physical out there.
Penalty is against Somerset Berkley.
And we had one flag against Somerset. Of course. Well, the ball will go to the Raiders 44. With 5 minutes to go in this contest, New Bedford trying to get on the board before this night's over, which you would love to see that carry into the next game. The backup quarterback is in, and he completes a pass before Gavin Gooch makes the tackle. Under center, Darren Alves Durden.
Yeah. Great pass there by Alves Durden, coming in cold off the bench and delivers a nice little pass for a good, solid, short gain. And as this game progresses, Keegan, as we said earlier, it's time for the second and third stringers really to get some playing time and see what they can do.
There's a gain of 1 on the play. It's a 2nd and 9. The chain gang still has it as a first. And that time it goes up the middle. Looks like another loss on the play. 2 people getting in there on the stop. It was Drew Dion and for the first time this season, Anthony Raganesi. A loss on the play, and now a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, Raganesi, one of those bigger bodies on this Raider defense, and he looks like that was a great defensive play there, stopping Antunes, who's been a varsity player, an established varsity player for years now.
By the scoreboard end of the field on the outside perimeter fence to not cross over the track.
A 3rd and 10. Now they got the down right on the field. At the Raider 44. Alves Durden under center. 2 out on the left. Stacking an I formation. And it will be a passing play for Alves Durden going to the left side, and it is incomplete. Almost picked off for the 2nd time tonight by Aiden Lambert, getting a hop in front of Quincy Stroud, and now 4th down and 10. A nice read, though, from Aiden Lambert.
Aiden Lambert, would have been nice to see another pick 6 by Lambert here tonight, but no prevail. And that's still the type of plays you want to see, breaking up passes that, if they are completed, can go for big gains. So that'll definitely be one for the highlights in the film room this week for the Raiders.
Once again, tonight's coverage of Somerset Berkley Raider football is proudly sponsored by the Somerset Federal Credit Union, offering a full range of financial services with convenient locations in Somerset and Swansea. At Somerset Federal Credit Union, their focus is always on you. 2.5 to go in regulation, and the Raiders will be well on their way to what we talked about before the game, getting that at least 14-point win to help their power ranking odds. First, a timeout called, though, by Coach Matt Silva.
Yeah, those 14 points are really crucial, and the Raiders piled it on today with 32, and potentially could be more if time allows. So let's see what the Raiders defense can do to finish up this game as the New Bedford Vogue backups are in.
Now, the clock doesn't stop when a timeout is taken in running clock mode, so now it winds to under 2 minutes. Let's quickly highlight Darren Alves Durden. He is a junior for Greater New Bedford Vogue, also plays in the secondary. 5'10", 140 for the junior. Thank you once again to everybody who tuned in on the live stream tonight, or whoever's watching on our tape delay feeds, which will be available next week on Berkley TV, Somerset TV, and on Blue Raider Studios. Carter might post some highlights on his Instagram story as well. This might be the final play of the game. A 4th and 10. And here it is, Alves Durden will go short, right side, pass complete, turnover on downs.
Pass is complete. To Antunes.
And on the tackle, looks like Wesley Albernaz, the first time we've mentioned his name tonight. Wesley Albernaz has had a few tackles this year, Carter, but it's nice seeing him get one right down at the end.
Yeah, it's great to see these junior and sophomore players getting playing time and producing some good numbers as they put up tackles or get combined tackles on the season. So it's definitely been impressive to watch these players grow over time.
The Raiders will do one final kneel down, and that will make it a final.
Quarterback takes a knee.
The Raiders knew that they needed this one,
On the clock.
and just an absolute domination tonight, 32-0, as there's some
Outside perimeter fence.
scruffles going on
Scoreboard in.
right in the middle of the huddle. You don't need that before the handshake line. The Raiders have their first win of the 2025 season and a date with Old Rochester next Friday night. Carter, what do you want to see the Raiders take into that next game against OR?
They got to take this momentum and run with it, as Old Rochester's always a tough matchup for the Raiders. As you said, Keegan, only one win for Coach Freitas in his career against Old Rochester, so that's always the biggest game of the season. That's usually the decision who wins the SEC that year, but now with all the high records with the season, 0-4s going all around the SEC, now it's anyone's game.
Greater New Bedford 0-5 on the year. They did have some flashes, though, so that's something that you'd love to see for a first-year head coach and some terrific coordinators that were over here on the right side of us. If you're Greater New Bedford, what do you got to take into next week?
I mean, 0-5 is never a great start. You never want to lose any game in general, but when you're playing tough teams like Somerset Berkley and Old Rochester in your conference, you just have to find a way, just get any points on the board or just try and win in any way possible. You got teams like Dighton Rehoboth and Apponequet who are both pretty good this year, so it's not going to be easy for the Folk Bears to get some wins on the season.
Carter, Silvia, I want to thank you once again for hopping on tonight, doing terrific as always. Shout out to our main guy on the left side, Brian Moniz, filming every game for us this season, whether it's you and JJ at home or you and I on the road. Once again, we'll be back next Friday night. The Big Three, as we're going to start calling it. Somerset Berkley versus Old Rochester football might be the game of the year in the SEC. For all of us here at the Jeffrey E. Riley Football Stadium, I'm Keegan Hamblett signing off and wishing you the best. Be good. We got our first win of the season. Have a good night, everybody.